YouTube? It's your girl Niyah and welcome back to another video. I know you guys seen the title, so I know you're ready to hear about my labor and delivery story time. If you are new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button so you can join the DN fam, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I am going to be telling the whole story about how my labor and delivery went. Here is my daughter right here, Yara. Now she just turned 1 month a few days ago, so I am officially 1 month postpartum, and I just want to kind of like share my story with you guys. Follow me on Instagram. I have the links in description, and also subscribe to my personal channel because I will be posting on there very soon. But let's get into this video. Throughout my pregnancy, you know, I was like, where do I start? I'm basically trying to see where do I start. Okay, so my due date was November 4th. Yes, it was November 4th, but I got induced early at 39 weeks. Throughout this pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes, so I was like checking my blood sugar the whole time. I was dieting. I was diet control, if anyone is wondering, not on insulin. So that is why I had to get induced, because they were saying she was going to be a pretty big baby, which she was. She was almost 9 pounds. She was 8 pounds and 11 ounces when born. So yes, that was a big baby coming out of me. I was induced on October 29th. That is her birthday. That day, well, not even that day, but like I was very nervous about labor. I know anyone who's pregnant or moms, like, you can relate. I was like nervous leading up. I want to say when I got about 30 weeks, really like probably 28 weeks, 30 weeks, I just kept getting nervous about giving birth. Like, I've done it before, if you guys didn't know, but I do have a son. That was very different than this labor. So I kind of didn't know what to expect, because I did have him when I was very young. If anybody wants to hear about that story time, I will share that story. Just leave me a comment below, because I definitely was a teen mom, so yeah. But I kind of was getting nervous like the whole time leading up to the pregnancy, and I mean leading up to giving birth. That morning, well, really that night, like I could not sleep. Like, I literally stayed up the night before I gave birth, the night before I got induced, just like thinking about it. Like, oh my gosh, like, I know you should not think about this. I was just thinking, like, my mind was everywhere. Like, will I go into labor before that day? Will something go wrong? Like, I was just thinking about everything, guys. It was like I had no signs of labor before I went into labor, which was weird. Like, people are saying they were losing their mucus plug, water was breaking, because I really was trying everything they said to induce labor, so I would not have to get induced, because it just seemed like weird to get induced. But that morning, I kind of felt good about it. Like, I felt better than I thought I would. I was very excited. Like, I wasn't in a panicky, anxious mode. Like, I was like ready to have my baby. We lived like 10 minutes from the hospital. We had started recording before we got there. I know if you haven't watched my labor and delivery vlog yet, go watch that. But when I got there, they checked me in, and this hospital is pretty nice, the one that's close to my house. Like, that's why I wanted to give birth there, because they treat you nice. Everything is new, so like I didn't have to worry about anything like being old, because creepy old stuff just gives me the heebie-jeebies, like legit. But anyways, when we got to the hospital, they checked us in. Then they took us upstairs to the labor and delivery wing, Like, I'm thinking, okay, when I got there, you know, they were just like gonna explain it to me and then we would go from there. Like, no, they got straight into it. Like, I just came up there and I was like, hi, I'm getting induced. They was, come on, like, put me in a room, gave me the gown, told me to pee in a cup. Like, it was like happening so fast. I'm like, damn, this lady's moving too fast. But it kind of made me like more nervous because she was moving so fast. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I just did what she said. She had started like the IV right away, checked me in, asked me all those questions. Why are you getting induced? This, you should eat breakfast this morning, that, everything. She was a very nice nurse. Like, I literally want to give her a card because she was like really nice. I'm gonna lay her down, God. So I'll be right back. She basically explained to me like the different ways of getting induced, like the induction part. Like, I think, okay, I know one of them, they can like start you on Pitocin and go from there. Another one, like, they can put something up you and have to stay for like 6 hours. And something else she was saying has to stay for like 12 hours. So I'm like, oh no. But it was all depending on how far I was dilated. When I got there, I was already 3.5 centimeters. So that kind of made my process go faster, which I was glad, because I was literally in labor for, I don't know, probably they started at like 10:30. I had her by 5:30. That's pretty good. I just remember her explaining that to me. She checked me and she was like, oh, you are at 3 centimeters, like 3.5. She was like, good, like, we're just gonna start you on Pitocin. Let me get this IV and everything. I was like scared to get the IV because it's like been a while since I had IV and I forgot how it felt. But it was nothing. So if you're worrying if that's gonna hurt, it's not gonna hurt. After she did my IV, I remember it probably took her maybe an hour or so to get everything ready and start the Pitocin. But she came and put that through the IV. I remember, like, it goes through your IV. It like drips so slow. Like, I remember looking at the bag they had, and still, like, I already had my baby and there was still more medicine in there. That didn't hurt at all or nothing. You don't even feel that. Like, you don't feel none of that like going into you, like that type of medicine. But it does increase the contractions. So for like, I remember like the first few hours I really didn't feel nothing because I had been having like contractions for weeks already, but I never felt it. Like, it didn't, I felt it, but it didn't hurt is what I'm trying to say. Like, my contractions did not hurt to a point where I was like, ooh, like, you know, like thinking I was actually in active labor. I never was. But it's like I was kind of having Braxton Hicks, and it was still while I started going into labor. It was like Braxton Hicks at first. I remember it was like hours I'm into labor. I'm like, dang, like these contractions ain't none. Like, I was just like, I got this. Like, I don't even feel anything. Boy, was I just tweaking, because I definitely started feeling something after a few hours. I remember they had like gave me my last meal like at like 1 or something, or like it was probably like 12, like around lunchtime. I ate like one last meal. They had like mashed potatoes and like turkey, which it wasn't bad. It wasn't all that good, but it wasn't bad either. So I ate that because I felt like I needed to have a lot of energy. Like, I knew that was important, and plus I did not get any sleep that night. So I'm like, okay, I need to eat to get my energy, because I know this is about to take a lot out of me, which it did. But I ate. I was still like chilling, like we were watching movies, we were just waiting it out, because honestly I did not know how long I would be in labor. Like, it was kind of crazy, because I know that I could have a quick labor or I could have a long labor that might go to the next day. So I was just hoping for the best, literally. I remember some hours went by, like I want to say maybe 3 hours went by, and that's when I started feeling the contractions. Like, first it was only like maybe they were like 5 minutes apart, not that strong, but then they got intense. I was trying to take a nap because my contractions weren't that bad. Literally, they were not that bad. I wanted to take a nap because I was just waiting them out. I got up from my nap because I had to pee really bad, but I kept holding it because I didn't want to keep getting up because I already had pee like 3 times. And you got that monitor and stuff. That's what I forgot to say. They had hooked you up to the monitor to track your contractions and a baby's heartbeat. It was showing I was having contractions, but they weren't hurting. And then they started to. I had got up one last time to use the bathroom because I was like, the contractions were hurting, but they felt better when I started to get up and walk. So I see why people be walking around when they are in labor. I went to the bathroom that one last time. When I came back to my bed and laid down, oh my gosh, I just remember those contractions. They was nothing to play with. They started getting intense. They tried to take your girl out. I was like, no, because I didn't want to get an epidural like off back, because I seen a lot of labor and delivery vlogs and their epidural was running out by the time, because I guess they have to like keep giving medicine in it. And I saw a lot of girls that by the time they were like pushing, it was no medicine in it and they were feeling everything. And I definitely didn't want that to happen to me because I don't want to feel all that. I had my first one natural and that was no joke. I just wanted to wait out as long as I could to get an epidural. So I told her, no, I don't want an epidural yet. Could you just like give me the pain medicine that can go in my IV? And she was like, yeah. Okay, she went to go get that. Super quick, she came back. I didn't even know what the medicine was. I just know it just goes in your IV. She's back. Okay, like I was saying, I did not even know what the medicine was that they put in your IV, but I just knew that, you know, they said it was like helps with pain. So I asked for that. When I say that was like the worst mistake I did into this labor, man, I really just want to go back and ask them what that medicine was called, because I feel like I would have been better off if I didn't get that. She had brought the medicine. She was like, I'm gonna put in your IV. I was like still sitting up at the time. She was like, you need to lay back because this is about to make you feel dizzy and then loopy. I'm like, dizzy? I'm like, loopy? I was thinking like, what does she mean loopy? Dizzy. So I was like, okay, whatever. She put it in my IV. When I say I felt that she was like putting the like needle in the IV and like putting the medicine in there, I felt it going in my veins, burning. So I'm like, what the heck? Is this like how like people who do those hard drugs feel? Because I did not like that. It was the worst. It was like burning, and then instantly my head felt dizzy. I was just like out of there. It did not take any pain away. It just made me like so dizzy, feeling like high, feeling that I was like just constantly thinking about how I felt, like that I was like so high, I guess, that I just wasn't thinking about the pain, but I was still feeling the contractions. It helped a little bit, and I was able to like lay down on my side, and I was still talking to Dre. Like I was really saying anything. Like he had so many videos of me recording because he thought it was so funny that I was just saying anything. But literally I was able to finally like take a little nap. I swear I might have took 5-10 minutes and I had to use the bathroom again. I got up to go to the bathroom and I felt like I had to boo-boo. Like I felt like I had to number 2. Like I had to do it. Like it just felt like I had to. And I don't know why I didn't tell my nurse right then and there, because I know that is a sign that like she's probably gonna come, like the baby is about to come. I was like, oh, I felt I had to boo-boo. I went back to the bed and I tried to lay back down. I tried to take another nap. Man, I could not get comfortable. Like those contractions was out of that. Like this was the worst. That medicine was not helping at all. It just had me like dizzy and loopy and just tweaking. Like I was really tweaking. I was like, nurse, screaming for the nurse. I was pressing my call button. I was like, go get her, Trey, get the nurse, because I felt, oh my gosh, I felt so much pressure down here. I really felt like I had to shit. I had told her, she had checked me. I was like, I need an epidural. I need the epidural now. I need it now, because those contractions were so bad. She was like, okay, let me check you. I just put your order in. She put my order in for the epidural. She's like, let me check you. She checked me. I was 8.5 centimeters. But then my water broke. Oh my God. My water had broke. The dude was coming in to do the epidural. They were not going to do it anymore because my water broke. She was like, oh, I don't know if he's going to do it since your water broke. I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, no, I gotta get an epidural. I can't do this without an epidural. Like, at this point, I was in labor like so many hours that I was over it, even though it wasn't that many hours. I was over it at this point. Like, oh, I was like getting upset. Like, I'm like, get this baby out of me, please, because the contractions were so bad. He came to do the epidural. My water broke. It's everywhere. It just literally just because she had checked me, so I guess that like affected it. Well, that's what really broke my water. She checked my cervix and it was just like poosh. Dre was like I mean, his face was like priceless. Like, I just seen it everywhere. I even see my mucus plug in like the stuff, like, because my mucus plug did not break before that. It broke a little bit, was coming out the night before I was induced, but never before that. He finally got there with the epidural. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was kind of like irritated. Like I said, I just wanted him to hurry up and do it. They tell you have to sit up like this and then like hunch your back over like that, so the back like your spine will be out, because that's where they put the needle at the bottom of your spine. And you can't move, because you can, if you move and they put it the wrong way, that can like damage your spine. Like, it can paralyze you. So I was not trying to move, but if you're thinking about getting an epidural, you definitely cannot move. But with the contractions, it's hard not to move. And this was another crazy thing I did going into labor. Make sure you get a nice protective hairstyle, or put your hair up in a bun. I was in so much pain I couldn't put my own hair up in a bun, so I had Trey do it. But y'all know how a man would do a bun. It wasn't up to par. When I was getting an epidural, my hair was kind of still on my neck, and I was so hot I started burning up from the contractions. So with my hair being down, it irritated me even more. And I couldn't move while he was doing it, like get my hair up. But the nurse was right there when I was getting an epidural, like for support, to hold her and everything, to make sure I stayed still, which was nice because I grabbed onto her to kind of like stay calm through the contractions, and she helped me breathe through them. The only thing I hated about the epidural is it kind of took very long to do. I'm gonna say it might have took 15 minutes for him to do the whole thing, and you have to sit up like this the whole time. So having contractions, you know, you just want to lay down at least, or get in a comfortable position. I was not able to do that. I remember he finally was done, and I wanted to lay down because my bed was like sitting up, maybe like this. I was sitting up, and she told me that I could not lay down because if I lay on the needle, I can paralyze myself or stop breathing, is what she said, something like that. So it's like a certain way you have to sit up with the epidural. You cannot lay down, and I could barely get on my side. I literally was sitting up in an uncomfortable position because by this time my water had broke and she was like ready to come. I just remember feeling her her foot like in my rib. Oh, like my rib cage. It was something in there. She was so low that her stretched out kind of. I just felt something like right here in my rib. It just kept hurting and I wanted to lay down to kind of shift her in another position, but they would not let me do that. That irritated me so bad. I was just over labor at this point. Like, I was really ready to give up, y'all. Like, no, I was really ready to give up. Like, irritated, whole attitude on 10. Like, I'm getting attitude with everybody because like you really be going through it, and I was really going through it. I told the nurse again, like after I kept feeling her ribs like this, I called her one last time and I told her I have to I said I have to boo-boo, like for real this time. And she was like, oh okay. She had finally, like, she was like, let me check you. She checked me and I was finally 10. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna get the nurse, the doctor's ready, you know, when I come back. She was like, 30 more minutes, then you should be pushing. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was just waiting for her to come back. Soon as she came back, she was like, you ready? They had prepped the room, you know, broke the bed down. She was putting the leg things up, brought all the stuff for the doctor, and she was like, okay, I'm about to do some practice pushes with you. You ready? And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do them, you know, because I was ready to get her out of me. I'm like, please get this baby out of me, guys. Like, I was just so excited to meet her, but the pain was just getting crazy, so I definitely just wanted to get it over with. My legs were like numb because when you get the epidural, you are numb waist down, so I couldn't move my legs or anything. So they had to move, you know, when you open your legs and put them on that thing, they had to do that for me. So the nurse took one leg and Dre took the other leg, and we were about to do some practice pushes. When she opened my leg, she said, oh! And I'm thinking like, what? Dre looking down, and she was like, she is about to come out. Her head is right here. I was like, what? Like, she was like, she is coming out. I see her head. Oh my gosh, she's about to come out. She had ran. She went to go get the doctor really quick. I'm just at this point, I'm still like out of it. So I was just like, in my mind, I couldn't stop thinking about, please get her out of me, please get her out of me, please, please, please. And the doctor came in there and she was like, she's coming out by herself. Each contraction, she's pushing herself out. When I tell you, that was like, I kind of think I had an easy labor other than the pain for a short amount of time, because I didn't have to push at all. I literally had to do like 2 pushes. That little practice push, it wasn't even a practice push. So she was like, okay, give me a push. When she was already out, they saw her hair, they saw her head. I did 1, 2, 3, push. She was out, and I was like, okay, give me another one, 1, 2, 3, push. Next thing you know, I just felt her come out of me. I heard her cry. They put her on me, and it was just, oh my gosh, a beautiful moment. Like, I was just relieved at that point. I was so happy to see her. Like, she literally came out with her eyes open. She was crying. It was funny because as soon as she came out, she peed. She like peed all over me when they put her on me. It was like so funny, like that she was just peeing already. At the hospital that I had her at, they do like hours of skin to skin when the baby is first born. So we did skin to skin, and they just took her to weigh her for a minute and then wipe her off, and then gave her right back to me, and we did skin to skin for a while. And I swear I was so attached, like she was so attached. It was a beautiful moment. Like, every moment of pain was definitely worth it because I have her here now. I am just thankful and I'm grateful for the new addition to our family. Like, my labor was pretty easy. Like I said, it started at 10:30. I had her by 5:30 on the dot. she was born at 5:30. It was just crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I'm gonna wrap it up right here because I gotta feed my baby girl. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos to come. Thank you for watching, guys. Love you so much.